Hello, my friends. My name is OMG WTF LOLFTW BRB. Welcome back to more WWE versus TEW, the series where we take the weekly events of the WWE books and we run them into Total Extreme Wrestling to see just how well WWE does against TEW, or if TEW will be the one company that brings WWE to its knees. I would like to apologize for the wait for these videos. I haven't uploaded, I'd probably say about maybe 4 or 5 days. Um, the program I was using, it's called like Flashback Pro 5 or something like that. I was on a trial program. My trial program ran out, so I had to purchase the program. I had planned on purchasing the program. I like this program, but there's no problem with it. So I planned on purchasing it. I just wanted to wait till I got paid. I finally got paid, so now I was able to, purchase the program and get back to recording. So we won't have to see that watermark at the corner anymore either. So I guess that's a plus too. So again, my apologies for the wait for this video, but I had to wait till I can actually pay for the recording. I mean, I could have, but I've also got to save money too, which in my mind is kind of stupid because not the saving money part, but the whole, oh, I can't spend this money now because I got to wait till I get paid, even though that money's going to be taken out either way. But I don't want to get too much into that. That's just stupid shit I think about when it comes to money. Money's the stupidest thing in the world. We have a couple of, I guess, incidents that occurred throughout the save during the simulation. We have a couple people that got fat. Brock Lesnar is obese, and Matt Hardy and Goldust are both flabby. I bring this up to you guys because this is supposed to be a very realistic playthrough of WWE, meaning like literally everything that WWE is doing in real life is what we're kind of doing, with like exceptions of like NXT and possibly some other outside projects like the Mae Young or the UK tournaments. But Brock Lesnar's not obese. Brock Lesnar might have a little bit of chunk on him, so maybe he could be considered flabby. I don't know, but I don't. Brock Lesnar is not obese. So I'll probably change that back to like some where I feel he really is. But I just thought that was funny. You guys should know that. But Matt Hardy and Goldust, on the other hand, they're considered flabby now. And while Matt Hardy, I don't think is in the best shape of his career, so I think flabby might be a, I don't want to say a correct term because see, I feel like flabby means, I don't want to misjudge anybody, but like kind of like a Trevor Murdoch kind of build or something where you could tell like you're kind of letting yourself go. And I wouldn't say Matt or Goldust are really letting themselves go. Same thing with Brock Lesnar. It's just, I don't know. I might change all three of them, but I'm definitely changing Brock Lesnar because he's not obese. Also, something I thought that some of you guys might find interesting: Tyson Ducks. I believe he was in the Cruiserweight Classic. He apparently is the new CEO of Impact now in this save. So that's interesting. Either way, let's just go ahead and run this show. This is the, let's just do it. I'm just gonna say, I don't know. This is the 21st edition of Monday Night Raw, so we are officially caught up to the WWE, and I'm probably gonna upload these videos not back to back to back like I did last week when I completely forgot to upload all of them. But I'll probably upload Raw today on a Friday, 205 and SmackDown possibly on Sunday because I usually like to keep like a day in between, and then we'll jump back to Monday Night Raw and all that. I also have Heat, so I might upload Heat on Saturday, but like I said, I usually like to do a day between videos. But nonetheless, sorry for all those people in the future watching these videos and are just like, get on with the video. 54 C minus to open up Monday Night Raw as we get a freestyle segment hyping up the Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax contract signing tonight, and also how Sami Zayn is going to expose Bobby Lashley. Oh boy. We are in Times Union Center, by the way, being held in front of 8,925 people. May I add that a lot of these arenas that we book, we do not fill out. Not even close. But that's where they're at, so that's where we're going. 64 solid C to open up the night as Kurt Angle comes out and he's hyping up the night and what we're going to see before he's interrupted by Stephanie McMahon, makes her return. We haven't seen her since the Raw after WrestleMania. She comes down, does her normal, belittling of Kurt Angle and whatnot, but she tries to say bygones are bygones now. Like, oh, everything's cool, and she talks about how she will be moderating the contract signing between Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey. For some reason, I couldn't think of who I was thinking of, and yada yada yada. I don't really remember how Roman Reigns was brought up, but she brought up Roman Reigns somehow, and then right on cue, Bonant, Bonant, Bonant. Out comes Roman Reigns. I hope you guys can't hear that loud ass truck just went by. I'm outside recording right now, mostly because my house is pretty noisy right now. Kids are inside and all that. Plus, I'm smoking, okay? Nonetheless, Roman comes out. Who cares? He talks his normal shit. Nothing special at all. I think pretty much it was like supposed to be like repercussions of what he did to Jinder Mahal or something like that, because obviously the Jinder Mahal storyline moved along here. This leads to Kevin Owens coming out, who's pretty much saying that he's a clear sign of favoritism or whatnot, because or there isn't no favoritism because he beat up Stephanie's father and all that, and look at him. And he puts his arm on Stephanie. Stephanie tells him, "Don't touch me again." And then she goes ahead and books a match for right now between Roman and Kevin Owens. So there you have it. It was a very meh opening segment. Nothing too special. As you can see, it's pretty average here in Total Extreme Wrestling as well. But one of the commenters, sorry, I forgot your name off the top of my head. It's been a couple days, so it's not fresh. But someone commented on one of my videos, and they made a great point, because if you remember that SmackDown episode, it got a rating that I don't understand. They didn't understand. I'm sure a lot of you guys didn't understand. And we didn't lose popularity, but one thing we do have to take of note is we did drop down to a cult, which I don't believe that means. I think for a little while we can't gain popularity anyway because we did drop down a size. I think we can still lose popularity, but I'm not sure. So we can't gain any popularity for right now anyway. I think it's like a 3-month time period until we can gain popularity. I could be wrong there. But we did drop down to cult, so that is one thing that we got to take into note. And the other thing is, while we are cult as well, that means certain ratings and storylines, of course, are changed now. For instance, we don't get dinged. I think we had to have like a 77 solid B for storylines, like 3 storylines with that for a national level. But now that's being cult, we have to have like a 70 or maybe not even a 70, a certain level for storylines to be passing, which we are now because we're cult. But not only that, there was one other thing. Oh, it was like with certain popularity and things like that. Because now that we are a cult level, it could be taken into account that oh well these guys are considered higher than cult or whatnot, or they're cult stars, so now it's a little better. Um, just something to think about going forward until eventually we probably will rise back up to national size, but or if we ever drop the size again, for Christ's sake. But just something to think about, in the future. So got the crowd hot, gained heat for the Kurt, Stephanie, and Roman Jinder feud. Kurt is improving in acting. We then jump to the next segment that we come on. There we go. Which is the match between Roman and Kevin. Gets a 72 B- rating here. Good matchup. Roman Reigns goes over Kevin Owens in 15 minutes 18 seconds after Kevin Owens was disqualified when Jinder Mahal ran in and attacked Roman Reigns. Got the crowd hot. Roman had a 69 in-ring performance and Kevin Owens with a 66. Ooh. Ooh boy. That's pretty bad. You would expect those two to kind of be more in the 70s, I would think. I mean, they're not too far from the 70s, especially Roman, but neither of them were off their games either. I don't know if the cult has an effect on that either, but I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting at least a better in ring performance. Maybe not match, but in ring performance. All right. 62 solid C rating here as we get Jinder Mahal and Kevin Owens beaten down on Roman Reigns until Seth Rollins comes in to burn it down. And he comes out to make this save for his former Shield brethren. Lost heat for the Roman Jinder feud. But we jump into our next matchup. Again, apologies if you hear the truck. You're probably going to hear it now because it's a lot closer. Then we jump into a match that was made in between the commercial break. By the way, I feel like WWE was running out of time for this because there was a lot of matches that started in the commercial break. Like we just came back from commercial and they're already doing the match. So I feel like they were running out a lot of time because they put a lot of matches on this crowd. Like for a moment, I thought that we were gonna have too many matches, but no, WWE for some reason they're really good at making sure that our angles and our matches line up. Good matchup here. The Shield, aka Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, go over Jinder Mahal and Kevin Owens in 16 minutes 47 seconds after Seth Rollins defeats Kevin Owens with. They did not do the assisted powerbomb. They did not do the Shield powerbomb. He hit him with the curb stomp, which, by the way, I did go ahead and change in the game for him to use the curb stomp. And 1, 2, 3, the Shield wins. Jinder Mahal was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performance. Good God, Jinder! Then again, Jinder was really off his game, but a 46? Jinder! That's horrible. Good God. Kevin Owens at a 68, so he did better. Roman Reigns at a 73, which is about where I expect, in the 70s. And Seth Rollins with a 76, so gained heat for the Seth Rollins open feud. I wonder if Kevin Owens is still in that, because if that's... No, Kevin Owens is in the Money in the Bank. I think it's because Corey Graves is in this feud, so it always pushes it along. And then the Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal feud got some heat as well. No Seth Rollins Intercontinental Championship this week. I believe next week we're going to have one. I think it's Jinder Mahal and him, but they did not do it this week. 65 solid C rating here as we get a post-match attack while Seth and Roman are celebrating. Jinder comes out from behind and whacks them both with steel chairs and just beats down on them before leaving. Eventually, Rollins and Reigns stand on their feet and they sell, but they look at the crowd, and they, oh, yay, good job, guys. 65C, lost heat for the Roman Mahal feud. Oh, come on. There we go. 59 solid C as we get a look back at the interview with Renee Young that ruined Bobby Lashley's career, if you ask me. With, Bobby Lashley, of course, and then, hyping up that Sami Zayn will expose Bobby Lashley, and that's next. Oh boy, here we go, guys. You ready for one of the worst segments people think in Raw history? Now, to be honest, I didn't think it was one of the worst segments ever. That This Is Your Life with Bayley was worse than this. I mean, I'm not. Some people say juvenile, if I can get the word out, humor, but I won't lie. When Bobby Lashley's sisters came out and they were three men in drag, I kind of chuckled too. I'm not gonna lie to you. It made me go, oh, that's. I didn't think the segment was funny, but that one part where they came out as men, men dressed in drag, it just got me to chuckle. I was like, oh, that's funny. Some people were like, oh, that's offensive. Well, whatever. Before we can get to that, though, we get a 59 solid C here, hyping up that Roman Reigns will meet Jinder Mahal at Money in the Bank. And then, oh boy, this is about what it probably did do in real life. 41 solid D rating here. Sami Zayn exposes Bobby Lashley. He brings out his sisters, Kathy, Francis, and Jessica Lashley, who are being played by... Kathy is being played... Oh, by the way, let's do this real quick. This will make it easier. Kathy, which is that one, is being played by AHTU. Francis, who is that, is being played by K Murderer. And Jessica is being played by Keenan Creed. Now, these guys, I believe all three of them were revealed, like, who they really were, but at the time of booking this, I didn't know who that was, and to be honest, I think for, jobbers or, local talents in the future, I'm just going to try to pick someone that looks like them. If I get lucky, I get lucky, but still, who cares? So Sami Zayn comes out. He goes on to expose Bobby Lashley by bringing out his sister, which, of course, are three men in drag. They all put over how Bobby Lashley was pretty much mean to them and would bully them and whatnot. This leads to Lashley coming out who, he plays along with the joke and he's like, oh, this is wonderful what you've done for me. Which, by the way, I mean, a lot of people want to shit on Bobby Lashley for here, but Lashley made the most of this segment. I think Lashley looked good in this segment, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, I think I don't want to say his acting was on par, but he didn't come out angry like you would expect. So to me, that made the segment a little better. Like, it wasn't so predictable. Like, oh, here comes Lashley. He's just going to come out and beat the living hell out of everybody. No, he came out and he was, oh, this is funny. Oh, what a good joke you played, Sammy. And it wasn't until Sammy called him like garbage or whatnot that pissed Bobby Lashley off. And then he went to go ahead and beat up his three not sisters along with Sami Zayn, and then standing tall in the ring. Of course, this did not do so well because Kathy, Francis, and Jessica were all rated on entertainment as well. So, to be honest, considering that, I guess maybe this didn't do so bad. I mean, this didn't do good, but with three unknown names coming out on Monday Night Raw and talking, I guess it did okay. I mean, it's not as, it could be worse, I guess. It can't get any better, I think. I think this is as best as you're going to get for something with three people who don't know anything. But to be completely honest, Kathy, Francis, and Jessica made the most of their appearance, guys. Kathy Lashley is improving in acting, learning to show more charisma and developing better performance skills. Francis is improving in acting, excuse me, learning to show more charisma, developing better performance skills, and Jessica is improving in acting, showing more charisma, and developing better performance skills. So, good job to the Lashley sisters. They made the best of this, guys. You got to give them credit. Come on. I clicked it. You know I did. 53 C minus as we get a look back to when Nia Jax challenged Ronda Rousey on that little contract signing thing. And then, of course, we hype up the fact that we will see the contract signing between Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax tonight. 45 solid D as we get a pre-match interview with Alexa Bliss on her match against Ember Moon with Renee Young. Alexa Bliss just, puts over how Ember was an unknown person to her, and it was a fluke victory pretty much in how she's going to win here tonight. Surprisingly, this gained heat to the Money in the Bank ladder match feud, so thank you, Alexa. The match itself gets a 47 solid D rating here. Poor match as Ember Moon goes over Alexa Bliss in 8 minutes 39 seconds with the Eclipse. We also had Mickie James trying to distract Ember Moon, but it did no good because Moon was still able to pull out the victory. Alexa Bliss was off her game. That's unfortunate. She still did better than Ember Moon, though. Mickie James did some good work ringside. Ember Moon with an in-ring performance of a 40. Alexa Bliss with a 42. And it gained heat for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. 66 solid. Oh, excuse me, not solid. 66 C plus as we see Stephanie McMahon backstage in her office, which used to be Kurt Angle's office. And in comes Finn Balor and Braun Strowman, who confessed that they were looking for Kurt Angle, but they want a rematch against Dolph and Drew McIntyre because of last week. But Stephanie goes on to say, "You guys aren't partners. In fact, you guys are opponents. This, come money, come Money in the Bank. So instead of you guys teaming, we're gonna put you guys in a one-on-one match here tonight." And she goes ahead and puts Finn Balor against Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman, who earlier took Stephanie's offer of taking an apple from the fruit basket, did this really cool part where he crushes the apple in his hand and just showing that Finn that he just crushes everything, and he just looks at Finn and he goes, "I like competition." And Braun's great. We all know Braun's great. And this is probably a good acting on Finn's part. Of course, I hate when Finn comes in and just is all smiling and all happy to be here. But seeing some, actual worriedness, I don't really know the word I'm looking for. Finn looked like he was worried about getting in the ring with Braun. After he saw Braun crush that apple with ease, he was just kind of like, oh. But good stuff here. Not too bad. Finn really needs to stop with the smile, though. I really don't know why. Also, I heard the rumors about Stephanie McMahon apparently wanting Finn to play like a gay character. And even though they haven't really pulled the trigger, I feel like Stephanie believes that he's gay or something. Just the way they push him and knowing that, maybe it's just I see it now, but I feel like that's really where they're going with this. 48D plus rated matchup here. Decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. Baron Corbin going over No Way Jose in 5 minutes 36 seconds with the end of days. I guess this is kind of the end of the feud here. I can't imagine it going anywhere else from this. We already knew about No Way Jose and Baron Corbin not being a good pairing. They don't click. But unfortunately, WWE still goes with the match, and because they do that, I have to go with it. So we went with it anyway. So 48D plus for the matchup here. No Way Jose with a 33 in-ring performance. Baron Corbin with a 46. And surprisingly, it gained heat for the feud between Baron Corbin and No Way Jose, or Titus Worldwide. Nothing to comment on there. 63 C rating, solid C rating here as we're backstage with Kurt Angle, who was just like out in the what would you call it? I wouldn't call it the locker room, but like the just the hallway, I guess, or something. He's on his phone. He's getting bad cell service. Chad comes up to him and he goes, I was looking for you, but Stephanie was in your office or something. And then Kurt's like, yeah, I let Stephanie have my office for the night. He's like, I like it out here. It just has, crappy cell service. And Kurt goes on to say that he was going to put Chad in last week's Money in the Bank qualifier, but, the powers that be had other plans. And Chad was really, honored for that and whatnot. Which leads to, Dolph and Drew coming in, who, I don't even really remember why they came in. They were just talking their trash or something. And this leads, of course, Chad Gable trying to shut Dolph up, and leads to a match between Chad and Dolph. I love Chad Gable, guys. Chad Gable's great. I've always liked Chad Gable. Back in his NXT days when he was, trying to pair himself up with Jason Jordan, but Jordan wasn't having it, and he kept telling Jordan, you're going to be ready, you're going to be willing, and you're going to be Gable. Like, it was some great stuff between them. I think when they called them up to SmackDown, it might have been a little too early. I'm not saying that they didn't accomplish all they could on NXT, but I don't know. Their SmackDown push really didn't have the same personality. They were just kind of there. But ever since he's come with Raw, they've let Chad like show more of his personality and whatnot. Hell, even when he was with Shelton, they started letting him show a little bit of personality. Chad Gable's got it, guys. I love Chad Gable. I think he's got a bright future ahead of him, and I really hope this this friendship that's building between Kurt and Chad leads to Jason Jordan returning, and then maybe getting a little jealous of his father's new favorite in Chad Gable being his former best friend and whatnot. So I think that'll be fun. I think it'll be a good storyline. Gain some heat to the Stephanie and Kurt Angle feud, and the Ziggler McIntyre storyline moved along as well. Got our generic, pointless commercial break here featuring Big Match John, who gets his 100 A-star rating as always. Thank you, John. Probably should have taken you guys off of commentary, but it's not like you guys did anything really to affect it. Nope, we didn't press it apparently. 64 solid C as we get hyped for our main event of the night, which will be between Finn Balor and Braun Strowman. 43 solid D as we get a pre-match promo featuring Breezango on the B team, who I don't really remember what they were cutting the promo on. I mean, I know they were cutting it on the B team and how they lost last week, but the only real thing I remember from the promo was Fandango saying, like, there's only one B team here, and it's Breezango. And, yeah. Alright. The match itself gets a 45 solid D rating here. Extremely short matchup here. The B team of Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel go over Breezango in a 1 minute 11 seconds. They beat them quick. After Curtis Axel defeats Fandango with the axe hole. Oh, God. I don't believe that's what he hit him with. I think they did like a back breaker, neck breaker combination or something like that. Announcing helped this match out. Curtis Axel got a 43. He was actually the best of the matchup here. Bo Dallas with a 40. Tyler Breeze with a 41. And Fandango with the worst in-ring performance of a 38. Again, apologize if you hear the garbage truck going by. You probably do. It's close right now. It'll be gone soon. 37 D- rating here as we just get Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, the B team, over celebrating as they go over to the announce table, and it's funny, Coach, who's kind of jumping on the bandwagon, goes to like hug one of them, and I think it was Bo, like ducks him and goes right over to Corey Graves instead, while Curtis Axel jumps on the announce table and acts like he's swimming. Over the top celebration. It was great stuff. I'm not really sold on the B team, really. I don't see much upside in them. They're just kind of a joke, if you ask me, which obviously they are, but WWE's intent on pushing them, apparently, so we'll see where it goes. 52 D plus rating here, as once again the contract signing between Nia Jax, Ronda Rousey, and Stephanie McMahon hyped. Then we move on to the contract signing, which honestly does really well. Solid 65 rated C here, as we get the Raw Women's contract signing. Stephanie McMahon brings out Ronda. She brings out Nia. She tries to pit them up against each other, saying how Nia is just looking to make her name off of Ronda, and how she knows Ronda doesn't like losing all that well and whatnot. And then how Ronda, what did she say for Ronda? How she was just gonna prove to everyone that Nia was lazy and all that, which sets Nia off because she's sick of being called lazy. She kind of tells Stephanie to shut up, to be completely honest, before going on to tell Ronda that she's gonna beat her at Money in the Bank, and Ronda pretty much says the same thing, and then she also says how she's gonna take her arm. It was pretty cringy on Ronda's part, I won't lie. Nia was a lot better on the mic than Ronda. The microphone is not Ronda's strong suit right now. That's pretty much her weakest point here. Whereas in ring wise, even though we've only seen Ronda compete once, she's proven to me that she's better than Nia in her one match. We could see how it goes in a one-on-one match, but still. Nia Jax apparently performed poorly, despite me just saying that she was better than Ronda, but it did gain heat to the feud, so good stuff there. 54 C- rating here, as the main event between Finn Balor and Braun Strowman is hyped, while Chad Gable and Dolph Ziggler is also hyped, and it's next. 54 C- for the Chad Gable Dolph Ziggler match. I won't lie, I thought this was going to do a little better. I mean, both are upper mid carders, both are really good wrestlers, but apparently not today. Why did Chad Gable do so bad? He's done better than that. I don't know why. Whatever. 54 C- here. Decent matchup here. Dolph Ziggler goes over Chad Gable in 8 minutes 13 seconds with the zigzag. Chad Gable with a 43 in-ring performance. Dolph Ziggler with a 53 in-ring performance. So 10 points between the two. I honestly expect a little bit better from both of them, but what can you do? And then we move to a 55 C- rating, not C-. As after the match, Drew McIntyre just goes in there and he beats down on Chad Gable. Nothing too special. Just making the Scot look strong. 32 E+. Our first E. 32 E+, as we get a Fatal 4-Way Money in the Bank qualifier hyped, which is next, which will feature Natalya, Dana Brooke, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan. I almost said Sarah Morgan, too. Just realized that they have, like, rhyming last names. Fatal 4-Way match itself gets a 43 solid D rating here. Terrible matchup. Natalya goes over Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, and Dana Brooke in 5 minutes 27 seconds after Natalya makes Sarah Logan tap out with the sharpshooter. Ruby Riott distracted Natalya, but it didn't do much good for her. And Natty Ice was head and shoulders above everybody else. Liv Morgan really off her game. Color commentary helped boost this match. Dana Brooke with a 27, the worst in-ring performance of the match. Liv Morgan with a 30, Sarah Logan with a 35, and Natalya with a 45. So Logan not too far behind. I mean, 10 points behind is not too close either, but she looks like the most promising out of the 3 women not named Natalya. Natty's also improving Rumble. So Natty will be in the Money in the Bank. As we jump to a 54 C- as Dasha Fuentes joins Natalya in the ring, and she puts over, joining, being in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and then how her friend Ronda Rousey is going to beat Nia Jax, how they'll be, she'll be Miss Money in the Bank, and Nia will be women's champion or something. Makes me kind of think that they might turn Natalya heel, which I hope they don't, because that'll be a bad rating for Natalya. 46 solid D, as we get Bobby Roode versus Elias, which is next. And this match right here, guys, before I jump into it, because I'm sure it's not going to do good. I brought this up on SmackDown with Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles having their 3rd match on SmackDown this past week, and with them going to have a 4th match at the Money in the Bank, it probably won't do good because, as many of you probably know, in Total Extreme Wrestling, they have a 3-match rule thing. If you've had
if you have more than 3 matches in a close time span, usually the fans get bored of it or tired of it, and the match won't do too well. Something that I think happens in real life, to be honest. I mean, we see it on WWE all the time, where people are like, "I don't care about this. We just saw this match on, you know, Raw. Why would I care about it now? You know." But then again, there are plenty of matches like on the independent scene that get used multiple times, and people go crazy. I mean, look at Will Ospreay and Ricochet. People love that match. They can't get enough of that match. So I leave this up to you guys. If I don't hear anything from you again, I won't change it because, in my opinion, this is a real life thing that really occurs that WWE must suffer for if they do it. But I can also understand some other people's opinion on it because it does. In the this kind of generation of wrestling, I feel like multiple matches don't matter kind of too much anymore. But it is a real thing where you do see fans getting tired of seeing the same people fight over and over and over again. So with that being said, I know there's a way to take that off in TEW. I just found this out not too long ago. I don't know how to do it, but I'm sure it's not too hard. If you guys want me to, I can take it off before we get to Money in the Bank so AJ and Shinsuke don't get dinged. And then the other future match that goes beyond, the third match rule doesn't get dinged as well. But if not, I will leave it there. And with that being said, this next match, it will be kind of a preview of just how bad that can be because this will be the fourth time Bobby Roode and Elias have fought each other. And yeah. So we get a 47 solid D before the match as Elias cuts his pre-match, concert, leading the crowd into, saying, I forget what they said. He said that he led them into like saying like when I say walk with you say Elias or something like that, but I don't think it was that. And he got the crowd doing it, and then he did his whole concert before, of course, Bobby Roode's music coming out, going off, and out he comes. Match itself, okay. I mean, they say it needed to be better, but I honestly thought this was going to do way worse. 53 C minus, not as bad as I thought it was. I was expecting a D, maybe even an E. I mean, even the Road Agent report notices it those two. They said as the fourth time match, it needed to be better, but that's better than I expected. So there you have it. That wasn't too bad. So I guess AJ and Shinsuke might not be in too much of a danger, but it is to note that you can look at it right there that it is something that TEW takes seriously. Decent matchup here. Elias, to my surprise, goes over Bobby Roode in 10 minutes, 28 seconds after a diving elbow drop. I don't believe that's what he hit in real life. But nonetheless, I'm surprised Elias won this matchup. I mean, Bobby Roode's in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I thought for sure that, Bobby would be the one going over to get himself some more momentum heading into the ladder match. But no, Elias wins. So interesting. Elias had an in-ring performance of a 46, 10 points below Bobby Roode's 56. And Roode is also improving in performance, so good on you, Bobby. 71 B minus rating here as Elias is making his way up to the ring when Braun Strowman's music hits, and out comes Braun, who just runs over Elias as he makes his way down to the ring for the main event. Before we can get to the main event, though, we get 38 D minus hyping up next week's matches, as we will see an Intercontinental Championship match between Seth Rollins and Jinder Mahal, plus a last chance Money in the Bank qualifier featuring all the women who lost their qualifier matches. So that'll be Sasha Banks, Bayley, Ruby Riott, all three members of the Riott Squad. Ruby Riott, or I already said Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan, Mickie James and Dana Brooke, who was not featured because I ran out of room. So yeah. 57 C minus rating here as the men's Money in the Bank ladder match is hyped up as well, hyping up that we will have Kevin Owens, Bobby Roode, The Miz, Finn Balor, Braun Strowman, Rusev, and one of the members from the New Day, which I featured Xavier Woods and Big E, because Xavier Woods won the match, and Big E is kind of like who I think is going to be in the match. Kofi was not featured because, again, like Dana Brooke, I ran out of space. Also, does not mean all of these guys are going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match either. If you guys remember, there are 8 people in the Money in the Bank ladder match. We can only do 6, so the 2 least popular stars from both Raw and SmackDown who will not be winning will be taken out. What is this? Oh, it's for Rusev. Uh-huh. And then finally, our main event of the night gets a 71 B- rating here, and about that had great heat and good wrestling to it. Braun Strowman goes over Finn Balor in 12 minutes 17 seconds after hitting him with the running power slam. This is a great back and forth match here. Braun, he had the control for the majority of the match, and then Finn more towards the end, came back and was fighting back and looking really good. And for a moment there, I never thought Finn was going over, but Finn held his own against Braun, and I won't lie, I think this might have been Finn Balor's best match. A lot of people might be like, "Are you serious?" I mean, Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, AJ Styles and Finn Balor. Nope, Braun Strowman and Finn Balor. To me, this is Finn Balor's best match I've ever seen. I enjoyed the hell out of it, to be honest. I thought Finn looked great. It was a great underdog story with Braun, beating the hell out of him in the early goings to Finn, coming back to almost winning by countout. And it took Braun Strowman pretty much 2 power slams to take him out. Guaranteed the first one he didn't pin him. He just picked him back up and hit him with the second one. But in my head, that tells me that Braun thought that he was going to kick out of the first one. I need to hit him with the second one just to make sure he stays down. So it was a great match. Great back and forth matchup here. And I thought Finn looked great. Like I said, I felt it was Finn Balor's best match he's ever had. Some people may think I'm crazy, but best match I've seen from Finn. Braun Strowman had an in-ring performance of a 74, and Finn Balor with a 65. Braun Strowman's great. No worker improvements here, and that ends off the show tune. What do we get? 79 solid B. Okay. I mean, again, like I said, I don't agree. I don't think we should have got a 79 solid B rating here, but maybe a B minus. I can see that. But I'm going to assume because of the Colts uh, thing we got going on here, because we're a Colt company now, that maybe that has an effect on these ratings, or maybe WWE knows something that we don't know, and TEW is like, finally, someone's unlocked the secret. You don't have to have the best show on earth to get a good rated show, but who knows? I don't get these ratings. I mean, I'm going to assume it's the Colt, us being a Colt company now, but 78 solid B. That's 2 shows back to back ever since we've been Colt that did way better than I figured they would have done. But again, I don't know. I'm going to assume it's that, but it could be anything. All right, well, nonetheless, nerds and geeks. I called you guys nerds and geeks. I apologize. I'm trying to distance myself from my old catchphrase. I feel like I've kind of outgrown that catchphrase, so I'm trying to distance myself from it. But it's such a habit because I've said it for so long. But anyway, that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, leave me a comment, like, subscribe if you have not already. And as always, don't forget to share the video with your friends, your Facebooks, your Twitters, your Instagrams. I don't give a damn. Any of the social media accounts out there, anybody you feel who would enjoy my content, make sure to share, the video with them. Help me, gain some subscribers here. It's always greatly appreciated. And you know what? I can help my boys out too. I've always mentioned this. I've got the description down below. I've got tons of buddies down there that you can go ahead and follow. You can always check out my channel, who I've got more people listed on there as well, who really aren't the most active people nowadays, or I really don't know them personally as well. But you got guys down below in the description, like my buddy Zach. He's doing Twitch. I know he's playing a game like, I think it's called A Way Out. He was doing Borderlands 2 just the other day, if any of that interests you. Got my boy Raging Yoshi, who's doing a bunch, still keeping on with the Let's Play biz. He's doing like Final Fantasy, I believe it's Final Fantasy X. He's got like Persona 4 going on over there. You've got my boy Senor Conqueso, who he's doing all sorts of stuff. Recently, he was doing like Blue Apron versus like other food delivery things, seeing which one's the better of the two. But he's doing a bunch of stuff. So you can check all those guys out. Check anybody else out. You can check out HIW, which is the wrestling company I wrestle for. And we got some things here. What do we got here? Before we end off the video, let's check this out. Finley says Bo Dallas doesn't get it. Well, that sucks for him. And we got some pay rises from Billy Kay and Sarah Lee. I've just been giving everybody the full pay rise because why not? There you go. If it was real life, I'd imagine Vince being like, no. But then again, I'm not going to assume that's how Vince is. Maybe Vince is... Oh, dropped my phone. Maybe Vince would be like, yeah, you've been impressive. But, yeah. Nonetheless, that is going to be the end of this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Next time we will be live for 205 Live, and we'll have to fix these morale issues. Victor's probably mad that he was left off Raw. I don't know. Apparently, he's annoyed at the incident involving Dolph. I think Dolph was belittling him, and I was like, I think he was like, "Oh, you're not getting pushed," and Victor's like, "Stop it, Dolph." So I was like, "Dolph, stop it." And Dolph's like, "Okay," and then Victor was like, "Hey, that's not. You should have done worse." It's like, the fuck. I'm not. He was just. I just gave him a stern warning. Okay, I'm not gonna fine the dude because he was bullying you, dude. Like, okay. Nonetheless, next time we come back, I will probably have Brock Lesnar fixed here. But Matt Hardy and Goldust, I might not fix. Maybe Goldust, because I don't really think he's flabby, but you can't really tell under that suit either way. Nonetheless, though, I'll see you guys later. Have a good